Hello, and welcome to Why I Love Warhammer, where I'll go on for a while about why I love something in this hobby. Uh, Chaos Knights. This is actually the army that I would take to tournaments if I were at all good at this game. With an army list of like four-ish models, it's just easier to keep track of. Like, Warhammer's a long game, right? And it's not just me. Like, with an army of when I play like the casual, 1,000 point game, that's like a 3 hour deal. So games evening where I have like two games run on from after I finish work to midnight. So with armies like Knights or in Age of Sigmar Sons of Behemoth, your turn can go from taking it 20 minutes, taking to taking just like five. If the game were played with a chess clock, which I did try once, it was alright. But basically, I'd use far less of my allotted time with Chaos Knights. I move my four guys, I shoot eight-ish guns, do four combats, and I'm done for the turn. And also, gameplay-wise, half of the Chaos Knights range are also Imperial Knights, so you get two armies for the price of one. Um, but like I say, if it was just about gameplay, I wouldn't be raving about an army where the best result I've ever had was a tie. But why I love this army beyond the low model count, a couple of things to know about me. First, I'm 5'5" tall, right? I'm short. Of course, I want to play as the tallest faction in an escapist fiction reality. As opposed to my reality, I want to play the tall guys. I want to be tall for once. Other thing that's worth noting about me is I grew up in the south of England. I currently live in the West Midlands of England. Um, and lore-wise, the knights were like the heads of these noble houses. They were these rich, entitled, pompous idiots. I can't describe them accurately without getting preemptively demonetized off YouTube before I can get a chance to be monetized. Um, and when you live in the West Midlands and you're trying to get away from some of the culture you grew up with, watching these entitled people, these pompous buffoons fall to the ruinous powers of chaos, that makes me genuinely happy. That's fun to see. And with the knights that have fallen, there's alternate painting opportunities. So Imperial Knights, they've got these very regimented houses. Chaos Knights, you can go a bit crazy. So for mine, this is my Cerastus Knight Lancer. Apart, I made it a bit different by having the silver core, but the way I've done his outside armor, and all of the, um, and the whole of my other knights has been to spray them a combination of red to represent Khorne, blue to represent Siege, gold to represent Slaanesh, and Death Guard green to represent Nurgle, and have these really funky colours going on, and that works well in Chaos Knights. Um, and like when they did this guy in plastic, like I said I did the metal, but what you can do is for this one. This is why I keep this bit unglued. I don't know how well you can see it on webcam, but the pilot inside, I added some fleshy cables to add to the effect that he's actually been attached to the chair, and that's the kind of really neat little invisible things you can do. You can have things with these with knights that they're personal to you. It becomes more your army. That's not the space. That's not the Ultramarines Land Raider. That's my knight. So as well as that, and having a display board in front of him that has details on that are known only to me, I did an extra touch where the hand holding the shield has been glued in such a way that it resembles like when a magician's trying to palm something. Because I used to be into magic a lot, and it was just a nice touch that's only for me. If I take this anywhere, no one's going to say, "Oh, look, you've done that with the hat." No, that's just something for me. It just makes it a bit more personal. And yeah, it's unique. I'll also point out that this guy is currently the entirety of my pile of shame. I need to do a bit more work on the spear tip, and I need to finish doing the basing on him and actually attach him to the base. It's a bit of a longer term project for me. So yeah, he's not tabletop ready yet. The other thing I love with Chaos Knight is magnetizing, right? So taking this guy who I put on my desk for this video is just being able to detach the weapons and arms and reattach them. The thing is, I'm obsessed, right? There are 3 armies total where I basically strive to have at least one of every kit that Games Workshop, not Forge World, sell for Warhammer 40,000, that army. Necrons is one, Harlequins is one, but now they've been combined with Eldari, I'm just focusing on the Harlequin faction keyword, and the other is the Chaos Knights. I'm not made of money, and even if I were, I'd still not really view it as a good use of money to buy 3 of every combination of weapon options for your big knight, and then 6 for all the battle line knights. It's not something I'd ever really want to do, but magnetizing fixes that. And the thing is, when you try and magnetize smaller models, unless you're really good with a drill, you end up with models they're a bit like this Harlequin troop I painted up, where the arms look a little bit Rayman-y because the magnets stick out. And that's a problem I have with with my Harlequins. But with Chaos Knights, it doesn't matter so much if the arms are a little bit longer. You don't need to do the drilling for that. And on top of that, it's just a really satisfying click. If I take off this arm again, and then I put it back on, to me that's a really satisfying noise. And it's something that, you got these bigger magnets so you can't lose them as easily. But it also means if you're assembling the weapon options as you take your knights out of their case, you feel really tactical about it, especially with the Knight Despoiler. Right? The Knight Despoiler has so many options on it that you end up building it, and that feels really cool, and you've got a really satisfying click with every magnet as you're doing it. Which just feels like some tactical weapon. Disclaimer, I've never held or handled a tactical weapon. I don't actually know. I'm basing that off videos and games and memes. Another really cool thing with the Chaos Knights, at least to me, is that to me they really feel like they embody what 40k is about, because 40k is a satire, right? It's a parody. I didn't know when I was first playing the game at 13 years old. I learned it when I got back into the game. But the Chaos Knights, they're like a parody of Warhammer as a whole. The Warhammer 40,000 has, here are 11-foot super soldiers, and then here are 50, 100 feet guys who are just as covered in skulls, and also have these slightly terrifying face mask options. It's it's taking grimdark and making it more grimdark. They're so larger than life. The weaponry they have, that spear, if this thing came at me with that spear, the way it's going to get me isn't by stabbing. It's going to get me by crushing me. And all of their weapons would do that. It's ludicrous, it's ridiculous, and it's brilliant for it. Like, the fact that, here are these pilots that are fused into their chest. How it's the epitome of grimdark. This is what 40k is about from that level, that perspective of it. But anyway, yeah, those are some of the unhinged ramblings I've had regarding Chaos Knights. One of my favourite factions, and one other thing in this hobby that I really like, really love. If you want to do any of the YouTube pleasantries, the liking and subscribing, the last video got 1 like, which is 1 more like than I was expecting, and 0 dislikes, which is infinitely fewer dislikes than I was anticipating. And yeah, if you want to drop a comment for, do you love the Chaos Knights? Do you not like them? Do you think that actually they don't embody what 40k is about, and something else embodies what 40k is about? I'm just one guy rambling about something he likes. Talk about something you like. What's your favourite? What's your favourite faction? Let's make that the question of the day. What's your favourite faction? Put it in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you next time with another army that I really enjoy. See you next time.